Guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today video I'm going to be showing you how to make seafood okra. So these are the ingredients I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using smoked catfish, some real bell pepper, spinach, some beef. I have here normal beef and goat meat. I've already seasoned and boiled them with onion, Maggi cube and salt. So I have salt. I have about 2 tablespoons of crayfish here, and I'm going to be using 3 Maggi cubes. I have okra here, about 100 grams or thereabout, and I have some seafood here, mixed seafood, shrimps. It's about 3 or 4 different seafood in there, but you can use any seafood of your choice. And I'm also going to be using red palm oil and onion. So these are the ingredients I'm going to be using, and let's get to cooking. I'm going to be using some fresh red hot pepper, chili pepper. You can use dry or fresh. So I'm going to go ahead now to blend this pepper, the red bell pepper. I'm going to blend them with half of the onion I'm using for the cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and blend them, then I'll bring you back. So guys, I'm done with the pepper. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to transfer them into a pot and place them over the heat and allow them to cook down a little until the water is dry. So over the heat, I'm just going to allow them to cook until the water from the pepper is dry. Then I will show you the next step. So guys, the water from the pepper is almost dry, so I'm going to go ahead now to start preparing this soup. So on a pan over the heat, I'm going to add a little bit red oil, just this amount here. So I'm going to allow the oil to melt, then I'm going to add the onion. So now the oil is hot. I'm going to go ahead to add the onion. I'm using half onion. Like I said, I'm using 1 onion. I use half to blend the pepper, and I'm using half to cook this, but if you want more onion, you can always add. So now I'm going to go ahead to cook this onion for about 2 to 3 minutes, or until the onion is cooked down a little bit. Then I'm going to add the pepper. So guys, the onion is ready, so I'm going to go ahead to add the pepper. Stir them all together and allow them to continue cooking. While they are cooking, I'm going to go ahead to start adding the crayfish and the Maggi and the salt. So here I'm adding the Maggi cubes, the crayfish. I'm going to stir them now. I'm going to add the salt. Stir and allow them to continue cooking for another 5 minutes. So guys, it's been 5 minutes. I allowed them to cook. So I'm going to go ahead now to add the okra. Stir them all and allow them to continue cooking for another 4 minutes. And at this time, I'm going to be adding the seafood I'm using into the okra. After adding the seafood, go ahead and stir them all together and allow them to continue cooking. Did you see a video of this yam? I also have it on my channel, how to make your porridge yam. So make sure you check it out. It's on the same playlist with this one here. So check it out guys, it's very delicious. So guys, after 3 minutes that I added the seafood into the soup, I'm going to go ahead now and add the meat, the goat meat and the beef that I parboiled, or that I'm using to cook this. So go ahead and add the meat, add everything you're using, stockfish, pomo, name them, chicken, anything you want. Just go ahead and add them at this time. So now I'm going to go ahead and stir them, and think I might be changing the pot, because as you can see this one is a bit little, so I might be changing it, but that is not a problem. So just go ahead and stir all together. And at this time, after stirring them, I'm going to go ahead to add the smoked catfish into it. And I'm also going to be adding a little bit of the stock. I'm not going to be adding too much because I don't want this soup to be watering. So I'm just going to be adding just a little bit of the stock from the meat. And if I need extra liquid, I'm going to add ordinary water because I don't like adding too much of the stock into the soup. Just that one is enough. Then go ahead and stir them all. Test the salt. If the salt is enough, if it's not enough, you can always add. So I'm going to just throw in one pepper into it. I did not blend the pepper because the pepper is very, very hot. So I only love to just throw it in there and allow it to stay for a few minutes to give the soup that pepper taste. Then I will take it off. So this is the pepper. I'm just going to throw it in just like this. So I'm going to cover them now while I clean the fish to start cooking on a low heat. So this is the pepper. I'm just going to throw it in just like this. So I'm going to cover them now while I clean the fish to start cooking on a low heat. And now I'm going to be adding the fish. You can use stockfish to cook this. Like I said before, you can use you can use anything you want to cook this soup. Just add as much as protein or fish you want to add into them. You can even cook them with snail. Depends on your choice. So after adding the fish, I'm going to go ahead to stir them. I'm not putting the head of the fish on this okra soup because I don't want to have any bone inside the soup. But if you are the type that wants to put them, you can always go ahead to throw them in. But this time, I always put them, but this time I don't want to. So guys, after I added the fish, I allowed them to cook for 2 minutes. So now I'm going to go ahead to add the spinach. Then allow the spinach to stay in there for maximum 3-4 minutes because I don't like to overcook the spinach. Then that is all. Let me go ahead and add it. So now I'm adding the spinach into the soup. You can add any vegetable, any green vegetable of your choice. And this is why I did not add any other water, because of the spinach. I added only a little bit of stock, then I didn't add more water because I know that the spinach is going to release extra water into the soup. So after adding the spinach, I'm just going to cover them and allow them to cook for 2 minutes before I can stir them all. Then allow them to cook for another 2 minutes and I will take it off the heat. So it's been 2 minutes. I just took the lid off and I'm going to gently stir them all. I wanted to change the pot, but I think I'm not going to do that. So as you can see here, the spinach released water, so I don't need to add any more water into it. So I'm just going to allow them to stay here for another 2 minutes uncovered, just like this. I'm not going to cover them, just for 2 minutes, and I'm going to take them out of the heat. And here you have your yummy okra soup. It tastes so much, my god, so yummy. Believe me, if you haven't tried this process before, just go ahead and do that. This tastes so amazing, like amazing. Can you see that? And the pepper that I used this pepper to reduce the intake of the oil, to make this soup more healthy. This is why I did not use too much oil. I substitute the oil with the red bell pepper. But if you still want because I call this okra stew okra soup. So yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can enjoy this soup with eba, with fufu, with anything you want to enjoy it with, or you can just put it on the plate and start eating it like that. It's yummy like that. So I do that all the time. And I'm also going to be leaving the recipe link at the description box, so make sure you check out my blog. I have other recipes and I have another way to make your okra soup there on my blog, so make sure you check it out. I'm going to leave the link at the description, and you can also subscribe on my blog to know when a new recipe is out, because sometimes I don't put all the recipes on my YouTube channel. Sometimes I just put the written recipe and other things I prepare there. So yeah, that is all. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share this video if you find this video. God bless you all. Bye.